My family is pressuring me to forgive my mom who abandoned me for her new family, but I refuse to let her back into my life. When I was 13, my mom had an affair and left my dad for Jeff. At first, me and my brother visited every weekend. She seemed like a good mom then, even though I never liked Jeff. But when she got pregnant with his daughter, everything changed. Our visits became less frequent. She'd miss my recitals, my brother's competitions, always busy with her new family. When I was 16, Jeff got a job offer. Me and my brother begged her not to move 10 hours away. I still remember her exact words: "I need to prioritize my family." That's when I knew we weren't her family anymore. I went no contact that day. My brother stayed in touch, but I was done. She tried for years, calling, showing up at the house, sending relatives to guilt me. I didn't invite her to my high school graduation or college. I avoided family events just to stay away from her. I even skipped my own brother's wedding because she'd be there. Now I'm 33 and engaged. 3 months ago, she moved back to our hometown with Jeff and her kids. The harassment went nuclear. My half-siblings messaging me about what a great mom she is. Jeff calling me pathetic, saying I need therapy. I told him he was a home-wrecking man whore and blocked him, but then everyone started turning on me. My dad, my brother, my grandparents, aunts, uncles, even my friends, all saying I'm being unreasonable, that she tried her best, that I pushed her away. The worst part, my fiancé Laura started siding with them too. Last week I confronted her about it. She told me she'd been talking to my mom, hearing both sides of the story. She said my mom loved me and was heartbroken, that I was being unreasonable about her moving away when I was young. Then Laura said something that destroyed me. Everyone can see the truth but you. Look in the mirror. You're the problem. I asked her why she wouldn't support me. She said she loved me, but wouldn't stand by and watch me be a heartless bastard. I told her not to marry one then, and walked out. That's when I started digging. Turns out Laura's mom is friends with my mom. They'd been planning this together, but I found something else, something way worse. My mom had secretly paid for most of our wedding. The venue, the catering, the photographer, the flowers, the DJ, everything Laura told me her family paid for. My mom thought she could buy her way back into my life, buy a seat at my wedding, buy forgiveness. I spent all of yesterday on the phone. I called every single vendor, told them the situation, that someone had paid for services without my knowledge or consent. I asked them to refund her cards completely and cancel everything unless they'd work with me on payment plans. Most of them were understanding. Some even seemed angry on my behalf. The photographer said, "That's manipulative as hell. We'll work with you." The venue manager said they'd honor my original deposit and let me pay the difference over 6 months. The baker canceled my mom's order entirely and said she'd make our cake at cost. By the end of the day, my mom had zero control over my wedding. Every vendor had either refunded her or switched the contracts to my name. Then I made one more call, Laura's mom. I was calm, almost eerily polite. I said, "Hi, this is calling to let you know I'm postponing the wedding indefinitely. Your daughter and my mother have both been lying to me for months. I don't start a marriage built on lies and manipulation. You can tell them both I said that. Have a good day." She tried to argue, saying I was being dramatic, that my mom just wanted to help. I didn't yell, didn't curse, just said, "I'm not discussing this," and hung up. Laura showed up at my dad's house that night, crying and banging on the door. My dad looked at me, I shook my head, and he told her to leave. She stood outside for 20 minutes screaming about how I was ruining everything. My phone blew up for hours. Laura, her mom, her friends, even some of my relatives, all saying I overreacted, that my mom had good intentions, that I'm throwing away my future over pride. This morning the messages stopped, complete silence. I think they finally realized I'm serious, that I'd rather cancel my entire wedding than let my mom manipulate her way back in. My brother called an hour ago. He didn't lecture me, just said, "I get it now. I'm sorry I didn't see it before." That's the first time anyone's apologized to me through this whole thing. I don't know what happens next with Laura. Part of me still loves her, but I can't trust her anymore, and I definitely can't marry someone who chose my mom over me.